brainstormed, and we thought we chose an idea based on online. Steve is getting married next week, so we're graduating. So he went on online and everything, and made his invitations and something like that. So we thought, is there a service out there that Steve recorded his wedding invitations online, and then that service just mailed it out. So let's go ahead and explore that. So specifically for the wedding industry, and here in Utah, it's I guess it's right new thing. So Steve and I went to a couple of wedding.
Is that your fiance?
No. Oh. Anyways, all the women there, they look like this anyways. So that was a man actually. So anyways, we went over there, we questioned a bunch of the vendors, we questioned a bunch of the brides to be. Steve and I basically felt a little awkward while we were going there. Nothing wrong with that. But anyways, we got a lot of good information.
This is from a wedding
expert that we went to. Yeah, and we just went there just to question people.
So did you find any wedding wedding card thing about?
Yeah, so we found a bunch of print shops that did this question them. Basically, what we found out is this was a bad idea. There's already services that do this. All of them they already use these services if requested. And so, like, well, it's already being done. It's expensive to do. And so that's when we came to our first pivot. We like that invitation idea. We're going away from the weddings. And so, sticking with the invitation ideas, we thought, what do we do to kind of like scale this back to where it's like, the wedding invitations at that time in your life is the most important document that you could ever make for a week. And so we thought, well, we need something a little more relaxed, something like a barbecue or maybe a baby shower or something like that. So still is holding on to this idea of sending out physical invitations.
So physical invitations.
Right, yeah. And so we just order it online, we bring it out and send it out to them. Quickly, we thought that was a bad idea because when you look at the post office, there was a report saying that we were losing 25 million. So people are kind of moving away from physical, tangible invitations. So we quickly came to our next pivot, which is like, well, what's out there? The things that are out there, they're all free invitation, InBiteMe. There are some that are paid. So, we still wanted to stick with the invitation thing, but how can we make ourselves a little different? And so we started to kind of move the last side of the record, kind of moving into the next theme, where it's kind of coupon related, so like any deals with and so we go to our analogs and analogs, and so on one side you have all the InBite sites that you can use, and you have all these city deals and coupon sites. And how can we marry them into something that people would use? And so we thought, well, maybe we didn't want to be just an InBite site. We didn't want to be another traveling coupon site out there. And so how can we be somewhere like in between and capture kind of the audience of both sides?
Exactly. And one thing you just said is we didn't want to become either one of these type of businesses because they're completely saturated and there's not much differentiation amongst these businesses. And coupon is so 3 years ago, your stock price is so that. And so, but one really cool thing that we wanted to take from this coupon space was the power and influence of the coupon. So I don't know if you guys have played it all, but like there are those people that go out to eat only when they have a coupon. And so that's the aspect we wanted to grasp here and really focus on. And it really became an underlying basis of our assumption, which was essentially when you invite your friends, family, coworkers to go out to eat, if you were to include a coupon in that invitation, would it increase the likelihood that they would attend? So we asked this question, and we all answered, well, yeah, of course, you know. And we told our friends and family, and did a quick survey, and found out that yes, people are more likely to attend this social gathering event or eating out if there's a coupon involved. And I don't know, do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, the idea is, of course, so this is an environment where, like, if I'm not, I'm struggling because I have to put up there. So it's people split up their dinners.
No. Okay, so if I invite you to go out to eat next week,
Right, and I just pay for your dinner.
you don't pay for my dinner, you pay for your own.
Oh, so therefore, if I have a coupon, I save money, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, we give a parent one.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm not trying to be dumb, I'm just trying to understand.
No, good answer. So, good question. So I have a couple friends, they go out to eat like 4 times a year to IHOP. And I don't go for this coupon, but they only go when the coupon comes out in the direct mail. So they get the coupon in the mail, and they get everyone together and they go to IHOP, and they send an invite out, hey, we're going to IHOP, it's Friday night thing. Again, I'm not influenced by the coupon, but they are. But the coupon actually forces them to go to it.
Okay,
That's kind of the
does that happen to other people?
Other examples? Anyway, we talked to a lot of people, and apparently this is quite common. People, especially in hard times, they only go out to eat when there's a coupon. So that's what we wanted to focus on, right? The power and influence of the coupon.
Cool, I never would have imagined this business. This is cool.
Does that have to do with this?
Because I'm really excited about this. I just want to keep talking about it. Whoops, hold your question.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around, but I understand the coupon aspect of it. Do people often, so you talk about the individual income or the at a restaurant and that a ton of people with their coupons, right? So you feel it's group. I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be group. It could be just a group of 5 of your friends. It could be your family. It could be anything. You bring up a great point, though. Ask an excuse.
I get it. I'm just like, I always pick on Ken's broke, so I always have to buy them.
And actually, you bring up a really good point, though, because there is a stigma attached to using a coupon. So I don't think it's just like a party. I wasn't feel comfortable using the coupon in a big group setting.
Unless everyone else was using it, because then I'll feel like a total lame.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we have a social shaming part for why I like
Well, I guess I'm trying to, right, and I know that coupons are coupons are necessary people for restaurants. But I'm personally in the restaurant pretty excited about bothering people from these coupons.
The Groupon is a good way not to.
Right.
That would also be because like we couldn't get any restaurants to sign up.
So we got talking about
Yeah, we talked about it.
So Groupon, they go towards the new restaurants. Typically, that's my experience. You know, so I think they would mind for you if the restaurant's empty. But great point. So essentially, this was our key assumption, and it led to our second assumption, which was essentially this service or this business would be best served in website form. So we created a website. So we needed to find out, would people use this thing? Plain and simple. So Steve created this website, and before we go to it, the URL is up there in the top right hand corner. You can see it, InBite.me. And there's no underlying content. And so essentially, you can click on the dinner bill, your coupons, and your deals pull up. You can select on one. At this point, you can print it off for yourself, or you can send it a message, Facebook message, tweet, or email to do the invitation. So that's the invitation side of things. So we created this website. Before we launched, though, we knew that people in our close network would be the people most likely to visit the site and use it. And so therefore, we knew that the coupons and the deals that we featured on the site had to be you know, because most of us are from here, Tony's not, but we figured there had to be local restaurants and local food. So that's when we went out and tried to recruit restaurants to get on board, and we asked them, hey, this is what we're doing, we're MBA students, we'd like to feature your restaurant. I personally was over the east side, so I targeted restaurants near the University of Utah. And there were a few people that were willing, few restaurants that were willing to get on board with us, not many were, but we compiled a list of local restaurants. But before we launched the website, we realized that the whole point of this website was, and this goes back a couple weeks when we were talking about instrumentation. And the whole point of this is to really gather data that we could collect this data and see are people doing it. So we figured that our networks were too small, and we wanted to go national. So instead of doing this little local launch, we wanted to do a national launch. So instead of a local restaurant, so on the site you won't see any local restaurants, you see just a variety of national chain restaurants. And that led us to our results. And Steve probably can talk to this better than I can.
So can I ask one?
Yeah, sure.
So one question I have is, what were the objections, if you were a local restaurant, what were the flavors of the objections to why you didn't want to create more customers? I find that weird, and I'm hoping that it's because they had a bad experience with one or afraid or something.
To me, it seems like they had some sort of bad experience. A lot of them that I talked to were just like, I don't have time to create something like that. And, I mean, eventually because of that, we're like, well, we just use the deals that we already have. We just put out, an ad for whatever, typically or whatever. And use that, and they're like, yeah, just do that, yeah, sure.
So one of the bigger objections was time. So,
But bad experience. A lot of people, these people mentioned, they didn't have good success with food farming.
and we're good success now.
That it would cost them too much. Coupons typically are pay $10 to get $20 for food. And so, and I don't know, I've read a few articles about this, that people have been going away from this because it really isn't worth it.
The Groupon only gives the restaurant like $4.50.
Yeah. That's $20.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to distract you with.
No, totally. See,
Yeah, so, like Kevin said, we really want to understand, how people are using the website, what kind of traffic, where it's going, what type of neighborhoods. We got with Facebook Insights, which I think is really good about it. It's really good. It's like, you just plug in, you put it in, you start to use demographics. We really wanted to, put together a service structure and then post things and drive lots of traffic on the website. That was, I think one of the channel we used was maybe about 20,000 hits throughout this experiment. I think we only had something very, very good numbers.
107 in the month of April.
It's just hard.
You can go to that URL out there and just /dashboard in all caps and see, I don't want to say pathetic, but see that how bad this campaign went. And essentially, those few hundred people, we had 0 conversions. So not one person. We had several people go to a coupon and look at it, but no one actually sent it to anyone else. No one invited their friends.
So speaking of that one, I think because the incentives are not aligned, so maybe an idea, because I work in the coupon industry. Groupon tried to do the tipping point effect that the coupon unlocks with the hit. Maybe you want to play with the percentage. So if the percentage of the discount, let's say you get a deal at 30% discount of the place. Don't start with 30%. Start with 10 and give the incentive for people to invite to get a higher percentage. So scale that 30%, maybe 10, 15, 20, 25, based on how many people get invited to actually be part of that deal.
I like that a lot. Is there another hand back here? So the issue with that is that we have to go to each individual restaurant, right? And
you don't do that as an experiment though? Like, to do that as
See, again, the point is, restaurants, especially restaurants, they see coupons as part of marketing campaign. So, and the more people they bring in, they're more willing to sacrifice. But to tell them that, oh, I'll end up inviting only 5 people for 30%, but we'll get a show at that time.
No, that's a great idea. But as far as this experimental phase went, we didn't have the time to go recruit all these national chain restaurants. We had to, essentially, the coupons you see on the site right now are printable coupons that anyone can go and find. They're a little bit difficult to find. You have to dig deep sometimes, and you have to give them your email address or like them on Facebook. So this is kind of a pain. So it is a service right now, this website, but you're right, that would be the approach.
I'm just curious what assumptions you guys make. You have people go there, they go to the coupon, but not one single person said it. I'm not a coupon guy, right? So I wouldn't send a coupon to anybody. But I think, earlier you made a statement that said, well, if a whole group is using coupons, then maybe I would. I would never be the first cat that was like, I'm sending coupons to Jimmy and Scott and this, because of that stigma of, okay, so Matt's the cheap one that will only get together with the rest of his buddies to go to dinner if there's a coupon there. So I'm wondering what assumptions you guys made out of all the, not that there was a huge number of people that went there though, and looked at coupons if there was 40 or 30 or whatever, and nobody sent one to anybody.
Yeah, so that was maybe a lesson that we learned in this whole thing is the target market, like who we were going for. So we're trying to combine these two ideas, the coupon and the invitation. So we're saying we're targeting people that use coupons. We're also targeting people that eat out socially, foodies or people who go out for drinks. Well, those are all different types of people, especially with the invitation aspect. I personally, I don't know if by raising hands, has anyone ever used one of these e-invitation websites to invite your friends throughout the week? I doubt it, right? So we were targeting too many different types of people. So that was a mistake on our part, in not knowing exactly who it is that we wanted.
Matt drives a BMW, you know him. I drive a stick shift, Saturn. Okay, so definitely demographics is key. Now, regarding your point about national versus local, from a personal experience, everybody wants to go national, but these guys, they prefer to go to advertisement agencies, especially with a track record. Like, they know we're going to give you this campaign to cover this many people and expect this return. You might get better traction with local places who cannot afford the fees of the bigger places, at least initially. And then you have to build up toward that goal, because you have to have data to convince the big companies about the conversion.
Right. We have a couple of points that we're contemplating exploring those directions.
Yeah, and we're going to bring it up later, but we'll talk about it now. It's essentially, there might be a niche here with focusing on local, because I had an experience. I went to B&B Burger, and the owner there was awesome to work with, and I went on Tuesday, and that was a big no-no. I don't know if anyone knows why it's a bad Dollar Tuesday. So B&B has this deal. The people that know about it, it's a $1 burger on Tuesdays. You buy a side, or $1.50 cheeseburger if you buy a side. So it's kind of like known. I went there as an underground all the time, but they don't advertise it. And like I said, the guy was a butt, but he has this deal. And so one of the ideas that we are looking at now as a potential direction is a website that is, and it would be a coupon site, which, we don't want to be a coupon company, but it's user-generated deals where we kind of take the Reddit or the Slick Deals idea and we can kind of combine them. So if I find a great deal at B&B Burger, I put it on there, and increases in ranking based on clicks or votes or whatever. And so that's kind of one direction we're heading in. But you're right, you probably get more bang for the buck. That approach, we have to develop relationships, with each individual restaurant, and you might be able to work out some specific deals that would be more attractive.
No, they do that all the time too. I mean, that's how we found some of these coupons. Like, you search them on the web, and then you have to like their Facebook page in order to get it.
But Facebook doesn't have a coupon aspect. Do they?
You don't want to go and write all these things.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, it's activated in all of those.
and then that's a lot of that. They may. Through our research, we find out they do. So that really kind of leads to one of the shadow beliefs that we held, or maybe we want to call it shadow belief, or like a shadow misstep, where and we came to this conclusion because a lot of feedback we received. People communicate when they want to go out to eat, and you guys are backing up on this, tell me how you do it, but through text message, through phone calls, through email, through your own email client, not through some random. That's how people communicate when they want to go out to eat, not through some random website. So we were really asking people to make a huge change in the way they communicate when they want to go out to eat. And that's asking a lot. And as entrepreneurs, I think it's kind of attractive to look for those big ideas, and we've seen a few today that really ask the customers to take a huge step in changing the way they, in their habits and the way they do things. And so, I don't know, sometimes it's easy to talk about those ideas initially, but we realize it's really scary once you really understand what you're asking people to do. Like, we're asking people to forego their text messages and their phone calls and whatnot and use this random website. They can use Facebook events to do it. Why do it us? So that was a big learning point for us. We also learned a whole bunch of different things, and that's basically where we are. Is should we pivot again, or is this just a bad idea? We really don't know. Today we don't know if this is a bad idea or not. But we, maybe it was a poorly designed experiment. Maybe, like we talked about, maybe we're targeting the right people. And we've been discussing this, we were ready to present 2 weeks ago, but we've been discussing this last few weeks and trying to find that next step. And we're really intrigued on talking to you, because maybe there's an aspect that we're missing. A couple things on potential directions. I talked about user generated content idea. We talked about those videos. This mobile app is our kind of latest thing, and it helps us to go back to being an innovation first company. And essentially, this idea is you have your app, you select first and foremost a template, so this invitation template, and then you start the video. So then you go to your phone book, you can ask text to people. So that's kind of where we're leading, but we really don't know. We've been discussing it a couple times a week and trying to find out what that thing is. Or maybe this is just a bad idea, we just don't want to come up with it. Definitely we don't have the passion exactly. We did. When we launched the site, we were really, really excited. We thought we had something there. But that passion has diminished. We're kind of, I don't know what the cameras will look like after.
I don't know if you have a point on things.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, like, I could see using something like this if it gave me value. If it gave me value, would it be from getting like a 10% discount off of some national chain restaurant? Like, to me, it is that hard work of going to small restaurants, specifically pricey ones that I'd love to go to, but I don't get to as often because they're more expensive, and finding a deal there. And then when I make my invite, maybe I'm not inviting 10 people, maybe I'm just inviting my wife.
Maybe the reversal here is like stop it, making it harder. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this B&B game. I'm irritated that I didn't know that there was like this. Right. So there's two things I don't know about. I'm sure in the way that, again, we just there's a whole bunch of off-the-menu shipping people in that burger, and I only know about like 1/3 of it. I know that. There's deals floating around that everyone else apparently knows about that I'm not included.
You see the big line.
Yeah. Well, and then there's also something about I'm an exclusionist and a legist, and I like to invite people to stuff that they can't get into. If I have a dinner party, I want to have like 4 people there, and I want to know that like 20 of my friends are just waiting for the invite. There's a 4-person poker game, and there's a rotating 4 seat, and everyone is like hoping I'm going to text them on Thursday for the 4th seat. It's never them, they're always bad. But it was nice to me as a result. But do you understand that? But sort of being funny, but not. Like, is there a mechanism through which there's an opportunity for you to close some sort of deal that's valuable to the restaurant, which is a true issue of inviting me. Well, I'm taking a play on their own website, which is like, I'm like, hoping to God I get invited. Right? I want to get invited to this. And here, as you're saying, like, there's no value. I'm not happy that I'm getting invited to Fridays or Sundays or whatever. It's like, I want the experience to be, oh my God, the 4th slot in Thursday night poker night is available, and I got picked.
So one of my ideas that really like the ideas that we talked about, I haven't put it here, I guess we could do it that way, but it would be that, you know, you fully go away from this deal scheme to where it's like you're inviting your friends, and then you're sending basically this to them without the deal, and it's just a restaurant, and then they can see who all accepted the invitation to come and have an interview. So probably from there, you can just post it to the rest of your friends.
So I want to know, the things that seem valuable to me is I want to know about all these things that are happening. And then on the invitation side, I want the experience of inviting people to do something that they're, and it's just a feeling that I'm trying to get.
I think you should pay the Sasquatch.
So, what if you look at it from the right perspective instead, okay? And incentivize people to use that, like with another deal on. There's no people else who goes to their restaurants and
No.
but when you have friends in their home, they do. And then you have friends in restaurants and catering on takeaway trays. A lot of these friends have people don't know it, right?
That's very
Utilize
interesting.
those.
So it's e-bite, and then I can select, like, as a whole.
As a whole, you get a discount on the takeaway tray for your party, and you get that incentive by using this service.
That's quite
One of the things that I thought, I went and got my haircut a couple of weeks ago, and on Great Clips, they have like online shipping.
online chicken.
Check in.
Kicks out a ticket out your computer.
But when I went and I checked in, and as I was walking in the door, we had 2 people walking in front of me, going in front of me and checking in physically. And I was the 3rd person, and I said, I'm Joe. They're like, oh, well, cool. The other 2 people, they, told me to take a seat, and they took me right back because I had already checked in online. So that's kind of where I'm thinking incentivizing people to use this, because then also your party got skipped over because you didn't check in for.
So back to Rob's point, I think, as they told us in marketing, the illusion of scarcity, meaning that just like when Gmail first started, you can invite 2 people, and that's it. However, you can also leverage this one with the business owner. What they hated about Groupon was the Groupon never limited the number of it. They insisted that if the avalanche starts, you cannot stop it. And some businesses borrowed money to pay the bill. So, but you can leverage that scarcity by telling the business that we're also limiting the damage on your end as well. You cannot, the worst case scenario is a party of 20 people at 30% discount, and that's it. So at least you're helping them estimate the budget.
Is the mailbox, the union site, the Twitter and mailbox and these other apps that are demand-driven, they generate hype, but they both create the illusion of scarcity, but part of the illusion of scarcity is really solving the throttling problem.
Well, yeah, especially if you go and comparing that to a non-price Groupon. A lot of these businesses they got burned with Groupon.
So let me tell you one more dumb idea. Okay, so let's think about how I can be cool by buying stuff. So, two things. One, so Stone Ground, I go to Stone Ground, I drop like $20, $60 every 2 days, and no one like gives me anything back. Ever. Now, I wouldn't take anything back because of my relationship with the university and being appropriate for me to do so. But nonetheless, I'm genuinely puzzled. is that I spend more than $3,000 a semester at 2 restaurants, and neither of the two, and the 2 restaurant owners know me personally. Like, never a free glass of wine, never a thank you, like never nothing. And what I would want is if you were the restaurant owner, yeah, I'd be like, look, brother, I just have an aesthetic where I don't take kickbacks and that kind of stuff. But if you really want to make a difference, there's 30 people that just came in the room, we can get 10% off this stuff for next time they come. That would be awesome. So I just shrunk that down to this notion of being at the shopper places, where how I could be cool to my friends is I could go to the Blue Star Juice Bar, I drink 24-ounce juice all the time, and now I can offer, what I unlock is the opportunity to gift my colleagues something.
Is that going to give your friends on the first place?
Oh no, I'm just sharing with you just thoughts about like what I would want to be able to do with this sort of space. And it's, for me, the incentive, like, what we think about this is like, how can I incent, or where's the value? And the value is knowing that there's a 2-for-1 deal that I didn't know about, that some other guy now tells me about. Or the value for me is being able to share, being able to gift something to a friend. But I don't need 10% off the juice and coming every day. Right? That's the Groupon problem. Right? What I really want to be able to do is to turn my friends on to something new that they don't know about and give them something for free.
It's also cool to get some people. This is another thing.
But that's the serotonin squirt, right? That's the,
Yeah, there's these like online, like as a gift you can give charity contributions in other people's names that are more popular. But that can be that.
don't give up and don't be afraid. There's something here.
Yeah,
There's something here, especially when one doesn't work. We know Groupon doesn't work. It sucks. Right? We know the traditional other stuff doesn't work. It sucks. Somewhere in there, there's something that doesn't suck.
Like I said at the beginning, there is power in coupons. You got to find it somehow.
I'm not, by the way, convinced that there's power in coupons. I'm definitely convinced that there's power in knowing about something hidden, sharing unhidden things with friends, and giving things to people, which is different than coupons. Coupons is the mechanism through which I get the serotonin squirt, the behavioral squirt for being nice.
Hey, I know I talked a lot, but one final point. The problem with coupons is that it's an unknown investment. They pay before getting the feedback, before getting the customer in. Make it different. You only get paid on conversion. Make it like the online model, but the in-store model. You guys get paid when your invitation converts, like you get the people they came in, as opposed to they pay you to do a campaign and it's a shot in the dark. Right? Yeah. We don't know what happens after that.
You know, that's a good point, because like, Epic and I,
Right.
Yeah, Ryan, I actually spoke with him in there, and he's like completely, he's like, and so after, he was saying that, yeah, I was going to start to come to the same conclusion. I don't know that, something like this would, be worth it making funny, but like, it would be cool to build something that, even if we didn't need funding, that people would want to fund.
Brian and folks who are Groupon business owners who don't like this, they're the best friends here. Because they're going to figure this out. So I'm going to have to be mindful of time. This is great. So far, you got